Normally I use two screens for my recordings. One day I opened OBS on the same screen I will record. Then I got this annoying loop screen. As you can see on my screen, this is OBS that I opened, and when I try to show something or to demonstrate something, then I see this screen. It's really annoying. And I thought, have I mistakenly changed something or some settings, or is something wrong? I then try to check, but for no reason. The problem is that when you try to record OBS with OBS, then it creates this kind of screen loops or frames. So now, how to fix the infinite screen loops while recording OBS with OBS? While doing that, we will also check how to run multiple instances of OBS on MacBook Pro. I'm going to demonstrate this using MacBook Pro and OBS. So that is the reason, because we also have to see how to run multiple instances of the OBS on MacBook Pro. So let's get into it. Now from my screen, as you can see, I have two loops, and I have two instances of OBS actually running. I use the first instance to record this instance. And the problem, if you don't want to see these loops, because I'm using the first instance of the OBS to record the second instance of the OBS, that is why the loops are coming. So if you don't want to see these loops and you are using OBS to record OBS, like you want to show some settings, you want to show some configuration, how to do some things on OBS. So you see, and your recording software is only OBS. So you want to show that, as I want to do that now. The solution is to create two instances of the OBS, run the first instance and use it to record the second instance. And on the second instance that you opened, go to source, as you can see here on my screen. Go to source and disable the source. If you have more than one source, you can disable all the sources, but go to sources and disable the source. When you disable this source, you see the infinite screen loop is gone. So this is the solution of this problem. But now also, if you are using MacBook Pro and you try to open another instance of OBS, for example, let's go to application folder. Here in my application folder or directory, you see I have OBS. So when I try to double click so that I can run the another instance of the OBS, it actually opened the previous instance that I already opened on the other screen that I'm using. So it's not opening new instance. And when you right click, you will not see any option like launch another OBS here. Let's check, for example, from the menus, do we have any launching of another OBS? So as you can see here, really I didn't see anything that will allow me to launch another instance of OBS. So the solution for now to launch another OBS is on MacBook Pro, because on Windows operating system, Microsoft Windows operating system, when you right click, you will see launch OBS. But on MacBook Pro, it's not there. And when we check the menu, it's not there. So how do we then launch another instance of OBS on MacBook Pro? So what I did is that I copied this instance. I copied the application from here, from my applications directory, then create another folder in my home directory. The second instance, that's the second instance. I just copied it and create a tools folder and put it on in tools folder. And when I did that, if I run this again, it brings my second instance of the OBS. So let's say, for example, now we want to create a third instance. Go to the application, or even from here, but let's say from the application, go to application, copy the instance of the copy the application, the OBS application, then come back to my tools directory. Then from here, let me create another directory, call it third instance or third OBS. Then in third OBS, I will paste the OBS that I copied. So when we copy it, it's like we are creating another different instance of the OBS here. So I can use this one to run another instance of the OBS. So let it copy the OBS now to this third directory. The OBS is copied to our third OBS directory. Now I will double click on this, and after double clicking, you see now it's trying to launch another instance of the OBS. So I think OBS is considering each and every location of the OBS as different instance. So now you see it gives me warning, OBS is already running, unless you meant to do this, which yeah, I meant to do that. Now you see launch anyway, so I'm launching. So now I'm getting a third instance of the OBS. You see, now I get a third instance with the screen loop. So for me to just fix this, I just disable the source, and you see everything is gone. So this is also the solution of how to run multiple instance of OBS on MacBook Pro. So I hope this will benefit someone out there.